The topic of immigration, particularly involving Venezuelan migrants, has become a central issue in numerous U.S. cities due to the increasing influx of asylum seekers from Venezuela. Several key factors, such as Venezuela's economic collapse, political turmoil, and widespread violence, have driven millions to flee the country. For cities already facing their own challenges, the arrival of thousands of migrants adds significant logistical and economic pressure. New York City is a prime example of how Venezuelan migrants have placed a strain on local services. By late 2023, the city was overwhelmed by a record number of migrants, many of whom were sent by states like Texas. The situation grew so dire that it stretched the city's shelter system, public resources, and infrastructure to the breaking point. Mayor Eric Adams even warned that the city was on the verge of financial and logistical collapse due to the constant arrival of migrants. The challenges extend beyond simply finding housing for the newcomers. Health services, education systems, and legal aid are also under strain. Many migrants need immediate medical attention, including mental health care, while others require legal assistance to navigate the U.S. asylum process. This has created tension for local governments, who must balance the needs of both the incoming migrants and their established residents. In some cases, local communities have expressed frustration with the additional strain on public services, while others push for more humanitarian support for the migrants. This debate reflects the broader complexities of U.S. immigration policies, the status of sanctuary cities, and the tensions between states, as seen in Texas's controversial decision to bus migrants to other cities across the country. As cities across the U.S. navigate the growing migrant crisis, it's clear that this situation brings to light deep-rooted challenges within the country's immigration system. The influx of Venezuelan migrants is not just a humanitarian issue, but a complex political, social, and economic challenge that touches many aspects of American life. One major point of contention has been the role of sanctuary cities. These cities, which offer some level of protection to undocumented immigrants, are often in direct conflict with states that seek stricter immigration enforcement. The practice of busing migrants from one state to another, such as Texas, sending thousands of asylum seekers to New York and Chicago, highlights the growing strain between regions with opposing immigration views. Some see it as a politically motivated move that shifts the burden onto other cities, while others argue it's a necessary response to federal inaction on immigration reform. On a larger scale, this situation reflects the overall lack of a comprehensive immigration strategy in the U.S. federal laws that haven't adapted to the evolving global refugee crisis, have created gaps, leaving states and cities to manage a situation they often aren't equipped for. Whether it's the lack of sufficient legal pathways for migrants or the overstretched resources in local communities, the system is struggling to keep up with reality. Meanwhile, Venezuelan migrants, many fleeing dire conditions back home, arrive in these cities with hopes of starting fresh and contributing to society. But without adequate support systems in place, their integration can be difficult. The challenges they face, from finding housing to accessing healthcare and employment, can delay or even derail the opportunities they seek. Many come to the U.S. with valuable skills, but barriers like language, legal status, and economic instability often slow down their ability to thrive. Coming to the United States legally is of importance. What's clear is that this crisis won't be solved overnight. It requires coordinated efforts from both local governments and the federal level, as well as compassion and understanding from the communities they enter. This is not just a political or legal issue. It's about real people, migrants and citizens alike, trying to find common ground in an increasingly divided landscape. The question moving forward is, how can the U.S. balance its tradition as a nation of immigrants with the logistical realities of modern migration? And how can cities remain resilient and welcoming while facing these unprecedented challenges? Ultimately, this situation forces us to reflect on what kind of society we want to be. A society that offers refuge and opportunity, or one that turns away from those in need. The answers may lie in how we handle this crisis today, shaping the country's identity for generations to come.